World War I, also known as the Great War, was one of the most devastating conflicts in human history. It lasted from 1914 to 1918 and involved over 70 million military personnel from more than 30 countries. Over 16 million people were killed in the war, including millions of civilians. How did a single event escalate into a global conflict that changed the world forever? The war was sparked by the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary by a Serbian nationalist in June 1914. However, the underlying causes of the war were much deeper and more complex. Imperialism. European powers were competing for colonies and resources all over the world. This led to tensions and rivalries between the powers. Nationalism. Nationalism was on the rise in Europe in the early 20th century. This led to a sense of competition and mistrust between the nations. Militarism. European powers were building up their militaries in the years leading up to the war. This created an atmosphere of fear and suspicion. When Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia in July 1914, a complex web of alliances dragged other European powers into the conflict. Within a few weeks, Britain, France, Germany, Russia, and Austria-Hungary were all at war. Many people at the time believed that the war would be a short and easy victory. However, the war quickly turned into a long and bloody stalemate. Trench warfare became the dominant form of warfare on the Western Front. Soldiers lived in trenches for months on end, facing constant shelling and sniping. Trench warfare was extremely costly in terms of human life. The Battle of the Somme, 1916, one of the bloodiest battles in human history, with over 1 million casualties. The Battle of Verdun, 1916. Another extremely costly battle with over 700,000 casualties. The Battle of Cambrai, 1917, the first major use of tanks in warfare. The Spring Offensive, 1918, a last-ditch effort by Germany to win the war. The United States entered the war in 1917 on the side of the Allies. The US provided fresh troops and resources, which helped to turn the tide of the war in favor of the Allies. The war had a profound impact on civilians, especially women and children. Women took on new roles in the workforce, while children often had to work long hours to support their families. Food and other resources were rationed. Propaganda was used to boost morale and support the war effort. The war ended in November 1918 with the collapse of the Central Powers.